無限大の地図広げ果てしないピアノ場所へ Let's sing on 高く頬を上げて風に乗れ
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Sorry for the lack of uploads the last couple of weeks. Work, holidays, things like that. Also didn't quite want to burn myself out quite all the way. So I decided to take a couple of weeks off after my initial week off. But today's video is going to be the last round of locals featuring Sakazuki versus Gecko. This locals, I'm pretty sure I went 2-2, so we're just doing the die roll to see who goes first. I believe he wins the die roll and chooses to go first, if I'm not mistaken. Or second, actually. We'll see here once the Dawn gets divvied up what exactly is going to happen. So it looks like I do decide to stick with this hand. Go ahead and start adding life. I do have another video coming out this week featuring an OP09 deck. I'm excited to start working on that, which should be tomorrow and part of Wednesday. Hopefully, if everything goes well, it'll be uploaded and we'll call it a day. But I do love playing this deck in the in an off-meta setting. My locals really isn't an off-meta setting, but for me, utilizing Sakazuki in such a poor state, even if it is with Gecko or Rebecca, just kind of makes me feel good. I like off-meta leaders, and since he was bumped down, I consider him off-meta. But we start things off with a Tashigi, and we grab the Gravity Blade. Or, yeah, Gravity Tiger, Gravity Blade, whatever you want to call it. Not bad to start things off. We end up passing to him. He's now at 3 Dawn. He goes ahead and activates Moria's effect. I end up taking the swing, but he brings back Perona to essentially trash a card from our hand, effectively allowing us to set up our trash. But again, as you could tell in the last few videos, I probably have repeated myself quite a few times, at least in the Sakazuki feature matches. I didn't really have access to any Geckos that weekend. They were in the deck, they just didn't show themselves. So he will pass the turn on to us. I believe now we are on a 4 Dawn turn. We're talking about something here. I don't know what it is exactly we're talking about. I have very poor memory when it comes to trying to remember what it is we talked about. But I will rest 1 Dawn, play another Tashigi. I do believe I grabbed the Borsalino off of this. Seems like the more obvious choice. Oh no, we took the Suru. So if I didn't take the Borsalino, that means I already have one in hand. Because I only play 2 Borsalino in this deck. Looks like we go for the brand new. Okay, maybe I decided that... Yep, see? There goes one of the Geckos and a Sabo. So at this point, I have 2 Gravity Tiger Blade things in my hand. We decide to swing 6 at lead. He does counter a lot throughout this match. The match itself is pretty short, like 15 minutes max. Actually 15 minutes on the dot now that I'm looking at the clock. So he counters, we pass on to him. Let's see here what it is that we do. Plays 1 for Sindri. I think, what is that, top 5 or 3? Oh yeah, I think he ends up doing another Perona play to trash a card from our hand, which honestly in this situation I don't mind doing. given the duplicate gravity blade I have. This man saw every single frickin' Perona. That is insane. I'm almost positive we get rid of the Gravity Tiger blade. Gravity Tiger blade thing. I really need to look up the name of that card. Because that's going to bother me now that I'm talking about it. Oh, okay. We counter the 1. So I did have a Borsalino. Why did I trash? Why did I not play Borsalino first? God, that seems like such a better play. I'd have been able to have blocked at least the Perona for free and not have to... Wow. Alright, okay, now that I'm seeing things from this perspective, I feel like playing Borsalino first is always the more ideal option now. A 6k on their turn, and can't be KO'd by FX, unless it's trash or bottom decking, so there is options, but in the situation I'm in, looks like we decided to play the Suru, minusing 2 to the Perona. We Hound Blaze it. We give the +3 to Sakazuki, making him an 8k. I just saw his hand. He has 2 Geckos. Jesus Christ. Alright, so looks like we swing 5 into the Perona. He lets it go, and we swing 8 lead. He will take, putting him at 4. We will pass turn. Not a lot we can really do in this situation. The cards were kind of against me for that weekend at locals. The fact that we did do 2-2 wasn't too bad, so all in all, it wasn't a disappointing weekend. So it looks like he plays Sabo. Of course, now everything cannot be KO'd, and he has to draw 2 trash 2 as the cost. So he decides to take a look through his trash, see what he's got. Almost positive it's another Perona coming down. Getting Perona'd 3 turns in a row is quite annoying. Looks like he discarded one of the Geckos, so not too bad. He could essentially play Hog back and get it back anyway. Swings the Sindri into the brand new. He does 6 lead. We counter for 2. And I guess he didn't have enough to... Yeah, didn't look like he had enough to activate Gecko's effect. Which, okay. Not a bad play, but thankfully, no more Peronas for the moment. Looks like we are finally on 8 Dawn. I feel like here would, wasting the 7 or 6 that it costs to play the Gravity Tiger would just be a waste of Dawn at this point. So I'm almost positive I just load up Dawn on my characters and start swinging. At least what's allowed. And play something for maybe like a 4 cost. From my point of view, not having watched the playback, as it's been sitting in Sony Vegas for a couple of weeks now, I feel like the more logical play would just be load up Dawn and start swinging with the Tashigis and play something for minimal cost. Really? Pass the card off to him so he can read the text. I really didn't think I would have done that. My hand actually had to have been Garbo at that point. I also don't utilize T-Bone either. There's not really a situation where I feel like I need to play a T-Bone, so he's mainly just a counter. But I guess certain situations I could start playing T-Bone. He counters out of this Did he counter? Or is he did? Oh. Anyway, so it looks like he goes for the Moria, plays the Rebecca, and then goes for Brooke. Oh, he's going for the Brooke off of the Rebecca. I just kind of let him know the order of things. Yeah. So I was basically just kind of explaining the order of how things should go when playing Gecko. You know, let him choose the order of effects first, but, you know, finish playing out the 2 cards first before you start going into Rebecca's effect, kind of situation. So, no ill will towards that. I just wanted to let him know. So, in future, you know, just in case someone did try to roll shark him, he was aware. So it looks like he grabbed the Rebecca and ends up playing the Brooke off the Rebecca. And has the Suru, so I guess something... Oh yeah, so the Brooke KO'd my Suru off of Rebecca's play. Looks like here we Ice Age. Yeah, we Ice Age the Gecko, and then we play the Gravity Tiger. Again, hitting the Brooke and the Rebecca. In hindsight, I probably should have went for the Brooke instead of the Rebecca. But I think we end up swinging on the Brooke. And he has to let it go. So at this point, he's still sitting 4 life lead. I'm down to, I think, 2. 2 or 3? No, 2. 1 or 2. I think 2. But having played both the Gravity Blades, Gravity Blade of Tiger, there's not much else currently in my hand. I've pretty much exhausted resources. I do think I have a, what was that, a Hina? I think I was saving the Hina to minus off of Sakazuki and then hopefully activate Moria at some point. So he ends up playing another Moria, going for the Rebecca line again, and I believe doing Suru to minus my Suru. He will end up playing the Rebecca for another Brooke. That is a 6 Suru, now that I'm looking at it. That's awesome. Yes, that's what I figured. Okay, so he'll end up popping the Suru, or I let him choose which one. It didn't really matter at this point. So he went for the Tashigi instead. It posed a little more of a threat, but it is what it is. So I think he's still deciding what to do here. 2 Dawn left. Probably end up swinging for 8. 7. Swinging for 7 seems more like a logical idea. Yeah. Yep, okay, no, we were down to 1 life. We end up taking it, and I think we end up passing here. Just because we know the situation we're in, and we pretty much lost. It sucks, it is what it is, but good match. Nothing to complain about there. I do want to start taking Sakazuki back to locals. I think when I do go back here this coming weekend, I'm probably going to try out Magellan again, and then maybe just try and get some games in with the Purple Black Luffy, and just have some fun. But with that being said, I do have a Purple Black Luffy video coming up here this coming Thursday against Enel. Quite excited to show you guys how that played out. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and have a good rest of the night. Peace.